What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am, and today I've got a story time for you guys that actually is a pretty good one. It's from a good friend of mine. He basically got bit by a rattlesnake because he was being an idiot trying to show off. I definitely wouldn't recommend trying to show off with poisonous animals. You know, it's actually how I've managed to stay alive this long, but hey, that's just me. Regardless, it should be a pretty fun video, and yeah, I figured you guys would enjoy it. Before we get into it, though, press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. You're gonna get visited by your teacher at 5 p.m., and he's gonna tell your mom that you've been naughty. I don't know. My 5th grade teacher showed up at my house once. That's why it was in my head. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so as I said, this story is from a friend of mine. I grew up with him, and I actually remember when this happened. I grew up in Nevada, and you know, when you live in the desert, there are some things that are super common for us that aren't necessarily common for most other people. Rattlesnakes, scorpions, that type of stuff I've had interactions with, and I've seen a bunch. I've never been bit by a rattlesnake or stung by a scorpion. I've been close, you know, knock on wood. But because we're aware of the fact that these poisonous animals are super common here, one common thing is whenever you're hiking or going somewhere, you're supposed to be super vigilant about staying on the trail. Like when I went to Yellowstone, they told you to stay on the trail because you could fall into lava or a bear would kill you, and those are good reasons to stay on the trail. And in Nevada, what you do is you stay on the trail because rattlesnakes blend in, and if you step on them, they'll kill you. Regardless, growing up, it's just well known, and I had a friend who we're gonna call Luke, and he was a super outdoorsy guy, you know, really into hiking, really loved just telling people that he went on hikes. I feel like that's everybody who loves the outdoors, bro. You know somebody likes to hike because they'll tell you within the first 5 seconds of meeting you. Honestly, this Luke guy was a really good dude, but you know, he loved to look all cool and outdoorsy, talking about how if he managed to get lost, he would be able to find his way back, and if there was ever a zombie apocalypse, he would be fine because, you know, he's good at hiking, I guess. I don't really know what those two are related about, bro. I'm telling you, zombie apocalypses are not as much about being able to eat berries as much as it is like trying to avoid the giant hordes of zombies. Anyways, one day he ends up going on a hike with some of his friends. These were some other people that hiked pretty often, and so everybody was decently experienced, and it's a pretty chill time. And as they're hiking, you know, because these people are outside often, one of the other guys that he's with ends up saying something about how it's getting hotter outside, and usually when it gets hotter, snakes like to come out. Basically, during the winter, snakes really aren't as active because they're warm-blooded or cold-blooded? Cold-blooded. So they need the sun, you know, and then once it starts to get hot around here is when they kind of come out of their dens, come out of their little hibernation phase, and start wrecking havoc again. So obviously, the dude who said this was really just trying to make everybody aware that it wasn't winter anymore and they should be a little bit careful. But for some reason, Luke, when he's telling me this story, takes this as a challenge, you know, like, oh, you think you should tell me to be careful? Psh, being careful's for wimps. I'm not afraid of anything, you know? And in reality, bro, he wasn't trying to, like, call you a wimp. He was just trying to warn you. He does admit now, like, after the fact when I was telling me this story, that he learned his lesson. You know, at the time, he was obviously just trying to show off, but this is when he stopped kind of doing that. So he decides to look tough to everybody else by purposely starting walking off the trail. Like, just enough off the trail where they could still talk to him and see him, but also just far enough off the trail where, like, you know, animals would definitely think it was safe to be an animal. And as they continue to walk, the group is consistently telling him, like, bro, please be careful, come on, just come back over here, like, there's no reason for you to be doing that. And he's, you know, being all cocky, talking about how he's not afraid of anything, it's too cold for snakes to be out, and even then, dude, even if there was a snake, he would be able to see it because he hikes all the time and he knows where all the snakes are. And almost immediately after claiming to be the god of where the snakes are, you know, 2 more steps, he feels his foot come down on something that's a little bit softer than a rock. And as his foot is coming down, he hears the rattle. But it was like at that point in his walk where he was too far committed to the step. So, sure enough, he, like, feels his foot coming down, he hears the rattle, and then as soon as his foot presses down into this snake, he feels a super sharp pain in the back of his calf, you know? And obviously, he knows what happened pretty quick. It's obvious to him what's happening. And he just jumps up and runs. He takes, like, 3 more steps, you know, and turns around. And everybody in the group, like everybody else he's hiking with, is standing there with their faces white as a ghost. You know, they just saw it all go down too. And then he, like, looks down from the people and he sees, sure enough, there's a rattlesnake there all coiled up defensively. And he looks back at his friends and he looks at the snake and he looks back at his friends and he looks at the snake. And he's like, oh my God, I just got bit. Oh my god, I got bit. Oh my god, I got bit. And obviously he's just repeating that over and over again because he's in shock. I don't think he ever expected that to actually happen, you know, literally just before this. Oh, I don't need to stay on the trail. I'd see the snake. Yeah, sure you did, buddy. That's why it stood, you did see it. I mean, you saw it after it bit you, to be fair. And nobody in the group is hitting him with the I told you so yet. You know, everybody's just still white as a ghost, probably just in shock because they're realizing that, like, they're gonna have to take this dude to the hospital. It's just a crazy situation. Like I said, at this point, I probably wouldn't be calling my friend a moron either because I'd just be crapping myself thinking that he's about to die. I would be a little bit more preoccupied with getting him to a hospital. On the bright side, nobody had to suck the venom out of him, you know? That's one thing, dude. That you're actually not supposed to do that. I learned that, and it was very relieving. Because, you know, we've all had the talk with a friend of, like, what happens if they get bit by a snake, and you're not supposed to do that. Regardless, though, everybody's freaking out because he just got bit by a rattlesnake, and they're in the middle of a hike. It's not like they're near a hospital. Alright guys, I'm going to interrupt the video for just 1 second. On screen now is actually a PlayStation gift card. For those of you that don't know, I give away a gift card in every single video here on the channel as a way to just say thank you to you guys for supporting me and having on those notifications. So if you haven't already, be sure to press that notification bell and subscribe if you're new so you never miss another video. I literally give away free money, you got nothing to lose, and yeah, without further ado, I'll shut up and let you guys get back to the video now. Thank you. Anyways, after that, he gets back off the trail, right? He gets back to the homies, and they all start looking at it. And sure enough, he had been bitten for sure. Like, at that point, they decide that they're going to have to go to the hospital. There's nothing they could do. There's poison in him. But they decide that they're gonna carry him. I guess they had thought that, like, if he walked or ran, then it would, like, affect his blood flow and it would make the poison go through his body faster or something. That's what he told me. I don't know if that's true. I'm not Bear Grylls. I don't work for Animal Planet. Don't sue me. So they literally start carrying him out, right? They're, like, trying to carry him out of there. They had hiked half a mile, so they have to carry this idiot half a mile out. And they're freaking out, worried about him. But the entire time they're carrying him, in his mind, he's thinking about how embarrassed he is. Like, how ashamed he is to be in this situation, bro. As they're carrying him, he starts apologizing, and they start telling him to, like, apologize later. You know, they've got to make sure that he survives first, which, really good friend move. You know, I'm not gonna lie. If I was carrying you down a mountain after you were trying to show off and got bit by a rattlesnake after I warned you that was gonna happen, I would have a hard time not telling you I told you so. I want you to survive. I'm taking you to the hospital, but damn, bro, you're kind of stupid for that. Like, you should feel embarrassed, you know? Oh, I felt so ashamed. You should. You made these people carry you half a mile down a mountain because you thought you were going to be able to see a snake, and you didn't. And obviously, it's incredibly painful this entire time as well, but he's got his adrenaline going. But when they're in the car on the way to the hospital, it starts to wear off a bit, you know? That adrenaline rush ends, and trust me, it's definitely him in a lot of pain. He remembers looking at where he got bit and seeing the skin, like, looking all weird, and then just making a decision not to look at it anymore. He was super hot, you know, sweating all over the place. And everybody in the car ride is, like, talking to him, trying to keep him focused. They don't really know what to do. It's not like they give you a pointer on what to do when your friend gets bit by a rattlesnake. So they finally pull up to the hospital. They rush him inside. I'm gonna skip the medical part because, you know, that's would probably not be fun to talk about. And I will say he survived. He was in the hospital for a bit. He didn't lose a leg. He didn't, you know, die. He can still walk and everything. No death. His parents, though, got a good heart attack. Thank God they were already at the hospital, bro. Just imagine you're chilling there on, like, Wednesday at work. You get a call from your son. Hey, Dad, not to freak you out, but I'm in the hospital because I got bit by a rattlesnake and almost died. Anyways, obviously he recovers a bit and he ends up going home, and his friends come over and they immediately just start giving him crap, right? Because, like, how could they not, man? You almost get yourself killed. Like, if your homie decides to save your life, and he does save your life, and he always should, it's okay for him to bully you forever. He gets a get out of jail free card, bro. Unlimited your mom jokes, unlimited, you know, I don't know, cheese sticks. You have to make him mozzarella sticks whenever he demands. Like, that's just what you owe him. Regardless, to this day, he still gets crap from everybody that was there for it. In fact, I even give him crap for it from time to time, especially after he told me the story, because, God, bro, that's pretty dumb. I'm pretty sure it's written in a rule book somewhere that you should definitely just stay on the trail when you're hiking, especially in the desert when it's getting hot and people are telling you there might be snakes around. But, you know, in case you couldn't figure that out from this story time, let me make it clear, don't do that. What's wild to me is that this guy still hikes a crap ton, though, like, to this day. And, you know, maybe that's good, like, triumph over over your fear or whatever, but I feel like if I almost lost a leg to a rattlesnake, I might be a little bit apprehensive to just get back out there on the trail, you know? I almost died to a shark in the ocean. Like, I'm not surfing again after that. Maybe that's the difference between me and people that are a little bit braver. That's why I make YouTube videos and they do, like, as sports and outdoor activities. But yeah, no thank you. I'm done after that. Regardless, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought, and as usual, subscribe and turn on those notifications. I ended up putting a couple of the older story times on Spotify so that way you guys could listen to them offline. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link to that in the description, so feel free to check that out. Other than that, you should also check out the merch. It's down there. It's the 2 million subscriber merch from the main channel, so check that out. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, on that note, guys, thank you so much for all the support. I really, really appreciate it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.